Good morning, children. This is English for class 11. So, my dear cadets, how are you all? Yeah, I'm sure you all are fine. Okay, so let's begin today's session. Can you guess which lesson are we going to do today? Yes, you got it right. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. Yeah, so let's begin. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse summary tells the story about two American boys who belong to the which tribe? Garogleinian tribe. Children, pronounce the word correctly. It's very important. Garogleinian tribe. The people of the tribe are sincere and they stick to their honesty. In fact, they're known for their what? They're known for their honesty. Very honest. So, they're famous actually for their honesty. And even in the worst of situations, the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, introduction of the lesson. So, here's the introduction. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is written by William Saroyan. The story is about two Armenian boys, Aram and Morad, who belong to which tribe? Garogleinian tribe, Garogleinian family. Their tribe is known for their honesty. They are poor and can hardly earn money for food. They both long to ride a horse. They're so much interested in what? Riding a horse. But they are poor, so they cannot afford to buy one. Morad had stolen a horse from a farmer a month ago. One early morning, what did he bring? He brought it to the window of Aram and asked him to come along for a ride. Actually, let me tell you, children, his intentions are not bad. His intention was not to steal the horse. What was his intention? To have a horse ride. They rode the horse for many days. When Aram gets to know the horse is stolen, he gets shocked but discounts the stealing in his mind. One day, the owner of the horse, John Pyro, comes to his house to complain about his missing horse to Uncle Khosrov. One day, on their way back to hide the horse on the deserted vineyard, nobody's there, they meet the owner and feel guilty at the end. The next morning, they return the horse back to the owner's barn. Okay, the Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. Let's have a look at the summary. Aram and Morad were two poor boys who belonged to the Armenian Garogleinian family, who were known for their honesty since the 11th century. One early morning, when Aram was asleep and was enjoying pleasant dreams, his cousin Morad showed up to his window with a beautiful white horse. Aram could not believe it, and he was thinking that it was a dream. But since there was a little light outside, he knew this for sure. So he couldn't believe it. He thought that he was just in his own dreams. But since there was little outside, he knew this for sure, that the horse was real, as they were poverty-stricken. So he knew that they were poverty-stricken. So he could not afford to buy one. Okay, some questions. What does the writer suggest by beginning the story with the following words? One day back there in the good old days was answer. The beginning of the story is suggestive of the fact that the episode that is going to be narrated is not one from the recent past. On the contrary, it is something that happened years back. The words good old days suggest what? that the times in the past were better than what they are at present. The next question, what does the writer say about the good old days? The good old days refer to a time when the narrator was about 9 years old. Then to him the world was full of all possible kinds of splendor. Life then seemed charming and was as alluring, attractive, fascinating as a mystifying dream. Okay, the next one. What was the narrator's first reaction to the horse? The answer. When the narrator's cousin Mored came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up, Aram couldn't believe what he saw. Mored was riding a beautiful white horse. Now, children, why do you think he couldn't believe? Because he was too poor to buy one. He stuck his head out of the window and rubbed his eyes to make sure that he wasn't dreaming. What did the narrator think of Mored? Unlike the rest of the world, it was only Aram who did not feel that Mored was crazy. Aram knew that Mored enjoyed being alive more than anybody else, and who had even fallen into the world by mistake. Write a brief note on the Garoglanian family as perceived by the narrator. So let's have a look at the answer now. Children, you remember Garoglanian traits, the characteristics of the Garoglanian tribe? I already told you they were what? Famous for their honesty. They never lied, they were famous for that. What? Their honesty. So the Garoglanian family was poor. In fact, the whole tribe was poverty stricken, but the family was living in the most amazing, comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where they ever got money enough to feed them, not even the old men of the family. Most importantly, they had been famous for their honesty for around 11 centuries, even when they had been one of the wealthiest families in the world. They were proud, honest, and believed in values such as right and wrong. None of them would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. They never stole anybody's anything. Of course, here in this story, that boy, he stole the horse, but his intention was not stealing. His intention was he wanted to enjoy horse ride. Actually, his intention was not bad. He did not steal. He did not steal the horse with the intention of stealing. So none of them would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. The streak of madness shared by the narrator's uncle Khusro and cousin Mored had been there in their tribe from the beginning, unpredictable and unrestrained. Why was the narrator both delighted and frightened at the same time? The narrator was delighted and frightened at the same time because of the magnificence. He was delighted in the magnificence of the horse. He could smell it, hear it breathing, which excited him. But what frightened him was that Mored could not have bought the horse. Why? Because he was very poor. The narrator realized if he had not bought it, he must have stolen it. In fact, he understood. How did the narrator establish that Mored had stolen the horse? When the initial fascination and surprise wore out, Aram asked Mored where he had stolen the horse from. Aram was certain that no one in their family could afford one. Why? Because they were poor. When Mored did not deny having stolen the horse, Mored did not deny having stolen the horse and evaded that question. Evaded means he did not want to answer. Aram was sure that he had stolen the horse. When the narrator's cousin Mored came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up, Aram couldn't believe what he saw. Mored was riding a beautiful white horse. He stuck his head out of the window and rubbed his eyes to make sure that he wasn't dreaming. Why did the narrator think of Morad? What did the narrator think of Morad? Unlike the rest of the world, it was only Aram who did not feel that Morad was crazy. Aram knew that Morad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else and who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. Now the next question, what were the chief traits, means the characteristics of the members of his family that the narrator could recall? The narrator felt that although the people of his clan were poverty-stricken, yet they were honest. They were proud, honest, and they believed in right and wrong. None of them would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Why was the narrator both delighted and frightened at the same time? The narrator was delighted at the magnificence of the horse. He could smell it, hear it breathing, which excited him, but what frightened him was that Morad could not have bought the horse. Why? Because he was poor. The narrator realized if he had not bought it, he must have obviously stolen it. How did the narrator establish that Morad had stolen the horse? When the initial fascination of surprise wore out, Aram asked Morad where he had stolen the horse from. Aram was certain that no one in their family could afford one. When Morad did not deny having stolen the horse and evaded that question, Aram was sure that he had stolen the horse. How did Aram justify the act of stealing the horse? Aram felt that stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. Perhaps it was not stealing at all because they were crazy about horses. He felt it would not be called stealing until they offered to sell the horse, which they would never do. The next question, what did Aram feel about Morad's temperament? According to Aram, Morad had a crazy streak. That made him the natural descendant of Uncle Khusrov, who had a crazy element in him. This crazy streak was common in their tribe and need not be passed on from a father to the son. The people of the tribe had been from the beginning unpredictable and unrestrained. Now I'll tell you about the theme, children. The theme of the narrative is the inevitability of change that challenges traditions and long established beliefs. The Garoglanian tribe was always known for its honesty, and still the the older generations of the impoverished tribe uphold their trademark honesty, but the new ones are no more ready to pretend. Now the irony of the story. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. In this story, the irony lies in the fact that Morad, a member of the Garoglanian family, steals a white horse. This is ironic because the family is renowned for its honesty. So this is the irony of this story. Okay, now the message, the primary message of the story. What is the primary message of the story? The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse is that despite social or economic challenges, there are some truths which are absolute and should be practiced under all conditions. It is undeniable that the story is set within a family that is poor. The moral of the story is the poverty does not limit one's moral values. Despite the challenges one encounters, the person shouldn't take the wrong path. Although Aram's family was poor, but they had pride and honor. Morad, who was considered crazy by his family, shows great traits of an honest person. Okay, let's have a short recap of the story, okay? This story revolves around two poor Armenian boys, Morad and Aram. They are members of the Garoglanian family. The hallmarks of their tribe are trust and honesty. That means they are known for their what? For being trustworthy and honest. That is their important characteristic. The story begins in a mood of nostalgia. Aram, the narrator, was then a boy of 9, and his cousin Mored, a more adventurous but slightly crazy fellow. And he was how many years old? He was 13 years old. The narrator remembers vividly the day when Mored came to his house at 4 in the morning and woke him up by tapping on the window of his room. Aram jumped out of the bed, and when he looked out of the window, he couldn't believe what he saw. His cousin Mored was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Mored asked him to be quick if he wanted to ride. The narrator had a longing to ride, but his whole Garoglanian family was poor. That means he could not afford to buy a horse. Though they were well known for their trust and honesty. The narrator knew that his cousin Mored couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have what? Stolen it. So the narrator refused to believe he had stolen it, because no member of the Garoglanian family could be a thief, and they were noted for that. They were famous for that. The narrator, Aram, asked Mored where he had stolen that horse. Mored did not reply, but asked him to leap out of the window. Jump out of the window if he wanted to ride. He knew that Aram was crazy regarding horses. Stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing money or selling a stolen horse. The narrator leaped into his clothes. He jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind his cousin Mored. From their house in Walnut Avenue, they reached Olive Avenue in less than 3 minutes. The horse began to trot as the air was fresh and lovely to breathe. Mored was considered one of the craziest members of their family. He began to sing, or rather roar, means shout loudly. They reached the open country and let the horse run as long as it felt like running. At last, Mored asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride alone. Aram asked if he would let him ride alone. Mored replied that it was up to the horse. The narrator got down, and his cousin Mored kicked his heels into the horse and shouted, "Wazir, run!" Whose name is Wazir? The name of the horse. The horse stood on its hind legs, snorted, and ran forward at a fast speed. Mored raced the horse across a field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch. He crossed the ditch on the horse, and 5 minutes later returned. He was dripping wet. The sun was coming up. Now the narrator leaped to the back of the horse, but the horse did not move. At the suggestion of Mored, he kicked into the muscles of the horse. It reared, snorted, and began to run. The narrator didn't know what to do. Instead of running across the field to the irrigation ditch, the horse ran down the road to the vineyard of Dikran Halabian and leaped over 7 vines before Aram fell. Mored came running down the road. He was more worried about the horse than Aram. Both of them searched the horse in different directions. So it took Mored half an hour to find the horse and bring him back. Mored hid the horse in a deserted vineyard belonging to farmer Fedvajan. See, these are all French and Dutch, French names, very difficult to pronounce. So Fedvajan, according to me, there were some oats and dry alfalfa in the barn. Barn, what is barn? A place for storing grains is called barn. It occurred to the narrator that Mored had been taking early rides for some time and had come to him that morning only. He inquired, "How long ago did you steal the horse?" That means he was very much interested to know when did he steal that horse. Mored did not like the question. because his intention was not stealing. He just wanted to have a ride and return it. And really at the end of the story, you will read, what you find is that he really does return the horse to its owner. The narrator rephrased it. How long did you begin riding every morning? He replied, not until this morning. He was obviously not speaking the truth, but he convinced Aram by saying so. Morat then told Aram that it wasn't easy to get the horse to behave so nicely. At first it wanted to run wild, but since he had a way with the horse, he had developed an understanding with the horse. Obviously he is not the owner of the horse, so the horse was not willing to obey him. The narrator reached home and ate a hearty breakfast. He is very happy because he wanted to have a horse ride and he is having one. That afternoon his uncle Khosrow came to their house for coffee and cigarettes while he was sipping coffee and smoking in the parlor. Another visitor arrived. The latter was a farmer named John Biro. He was an Assyrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. So he's an Assyrian. He was also served coffee and tobacco. Sighing sadly, he said that this white horse which had been stolen last month was still gone. Uncle Khosrow became irritated and snubbed him for crying over a horse. So Farmer John Biro was a large man with a gentle heart. He had to walk 10 miles to reach there and his left leg pained him. The horse had cost him $60 and his surrey was no good without a horse. As soon as the farmer went away, Aram ran over to his cousin Morad's house and told him everything. He asked Morad not to return it till he learned to ride. He suggested keeping it for a year or at least 6 months. Morad thought that he was inviting a Gadoglanian to steal. He decided to return the horse to its true owner. Early morning, for 2 weeks, Morad and Aram took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where they were hiding it and rode it. Every morning, the horse would leap over grapevines and small trees and throw Aram and run away. Still, Aram hoped to ride as Morad rode. One morning, so what happened? One morning on the way to Fedzwajian's deserted vineyard, they came across farmer John Biro, who was on his way to town. Morad greeted him. The farmer studied the horse eagerly and wished them good morning. He asked the name of the horse. Morad replied that they called it My Heart. John Biro called it a lovely name for a lovely horse. He was certain that it was a horse which had been stolen from him many weeks ago. He asked if he might look into the horse's mouth. On examining the teeth of the horse, the farmer was ready to swear that it was his own horse. That means he understood that it is his horse. But since the fame of their family for honesty was well known, he would not call it the stolen horse. Still, it was the twin of his horse. Early that morning, the boys took the horse to John Biro's vineyard and put it in the barn. Morad put his arms around the horse, pressed the nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and they went away. That afternoon, John Biro came to their house in his surrey and showed the narrator's mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. He was surprised to find the horse stronger than ever and better tempered also. He thanked God. Uncle Khosrow, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted at him to be quiet. He observed that his horse had been returned and repeated his pet phrase, "Pay no attention to it." Thank you.